Palmyra, where centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. We are an open and affirming congregation. We love you exactly as you are in all of your magnificent glory. And we're absolutely delighted that you've joined us on this lovely August summer day in central PA. Did everyone enjoy the lower humidity last week? Well, good you enjoyed it then, because it's gone. Yeah. We're back to a typical August in central Pennsylvania, but we can be grateful for the warmth. We can be grateful for the rain that feeds the crops, because there is always something to be grateful for. So let's take that into our opening prayer. If you are in a place where you can safely close your eyes as we welcome those of you watching us on Facebook and YouTube, I invite you to do that. Just allow your eyelids to gently close as we signal to the world that we are coming apart for a while, coming apart to breathe, coming apart to let go of what was and what will be, to become fully present. For in truth, that is all that's real, is this now moment. We also come apart to remember the truth of who we are, spiritual beings having an incredibly human experience. And to remember the importance of community, of doing our work of waking up together. How powerful that togetherness is. And so, as always, we enter into our service with gratitude as we say, thank you for this time. Thank you for whatever safe space you are in this morning. And most especially, thank you for one another. And so it is. Amen. So this is a special Sunday. This is New Member Sunday, where we get to accept into voting membership those folks who have gone through all of the membership requirements in order to join Unity of Palmyra as voting members. And so our focus today is going to be on beholding the Christ within one another. Seeing the truth of one another, and how powerful it is when we come together in community and share that truth, and how we practice in these walls seeing the Christ, always assuming a positive intent. That's a practice. And then we take that practice into the world. So please stand and join us in I Behold the Christ in You.
I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. I behold the Christ in you. I can see this as you walk. I see this in all you do. I can see you as you talk. I behold God's love expressed. I see you filled with power. I can see you ever blessed as you hour by hour. I behold the Christ in you. I can see that perfect one, led by God in all you do. I can see God's work is done.
Now look around the room and practice that. Yeah. Look at someone you don't know. That might be a challenge. And behold the Christ in them. Look in their eyes and see the light. Notice the smiles. We can't help but smile when we're seeing the truth in one another. Well done. Let's share now in our vision together. Centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. And our mission, wherever we are, inside and outside of these walls, we provide a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. And one of the ways we practice is to honor wherever you are on your journey. So if you want a hug, we will bring it on in. If you prefer a handshake, just extend your hand and we will honor that. And if you want us to leave you completely alone, we totally understand. Just stay where you are. We won't bother you a bit. Have a great time. One of them.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Well, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
I know. I'll get there. Have a seat. I think we need to start having like stoplights in the middle of the pews. All right, a couple of quick announcements because today is our monthly hug meeting, so we'll go into much greater depth around all of these announcements then. So that's your first announcement. Today is the hug meeting, so come for fellowship, come for welcome our new members cake and coffee after the service. That will be yummy. Our prayer chaplains today are Dan Christopher and Linda Longenecker, and they are both in the sanctuary this morning and will be holding space for us. And they will also be available immediately after the service over here in the privacy of this corner to pray with you if you need one-on-one prayer or any kind of prayer support. It is Membership Sunday today. There will be cake. I already said that. Going through Jackie's list. The church picnic is next Sunday at Memorial Lake. The directions are in the weekly email. It is a potluck. The meat has been donated, so just bring your favorite side dish and dessert. Notice how fast I'm talking because we have a hug meeting. This is the... Yeah. No, you will not be here at all. You will be over there. We have our, well, kind of our regular service. Oh, kind of. But we have it in the pavilion and facing the lake, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, so do not come here next Sunday. Go straight over to the middle pavilion on Memorial Lake. Okay? And we do put like signs on the doors, but yes, that was an excellent question, country. Yes, do not come here next week. All right, this is your last week to update the directory or fill out a directory form if you're not in the directory, and also if you're not on the birthday list. So those are all spread out on the big table in the Rose Room. So update that, and then Jackie's going to be updating and uploading it to the webpage. And I know you are all just dying to know what the results of the Christmas morning survey were. So first of all, my apologies for not realizing that free SurveyMonkey only lets you get 40 responses. They don't tell you that on the homepage. So I got this little notice saying, oh, congratulations, you have 41 responses. You'll have to pay to get the last one. No kidding. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, no. So if Linda and I agreed, if the results had been tied, we would have paid for a month to get the last one. But they were not tied. They were overwhelming that y'all want to stay home Christmas morning. So, in fact, we have, of the 40, we had 2 wanted a regular service, 8 wanted a casual carol sing. And by the way, if you have a key, feel free. We won't be here, but feel free. Come on over. Sing, have coffee, hot chocolate, whatever, make a brunch for yourselves. This is your community, this is your building, feel free. And 30 wanted to stay home Christmas morning. So, and just in case there's any monkey mind around the tally, you could only vote once. I tried. I mean, I didn't try to vote twice. That would be out of integrity. I just clicked on the link to make sure it was still valid, and it said, you've already voted, you can't vote again. So there you go. So we can talk more about that at the Hug meeting if you have any questions. All right, Becky, would you please read the daily word?
Good morning. The word for today is gratitude. Gratitude is a natural state of mind. What joy it is to feel gratitude rising from my heart and filling my mind. Feeling grateful makes me aware of the all-encompassing presence of God, including the divine within me. When I live from my spiritual nature, gratitude becomes the song of my heart. I don't need to wait for a reason to feel grateful. When I live with an attitude of gratitude, I find the good in every situation, the blessing that can come from any adversity, and the presence of God in every aspect of life. Practicing gratitude opens my eyes to the blessings that are present and opens my heart to receive even more. I give thanks for an unlimited world, blissful peace, and perfect wholeness. And from Psalm 95:2, let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise.
Home, my family is here. I feel loved by the ones I hold so dear. And when my family needs me, I promise to be there. And when I need my family, I'm lifted up in prayer.
So this is the time of our service where we consciously enter into that attitude of prayer. So again, if you can safely close your eyes, I invite you to do that. To go within and to embrace today's daily word. To embrace the power of gratitude. Gratitude has the capacity to shift our perspective from complaints, from focusing on what's wrong or what isn't working, to focusing on what's right and what is working, to focusing on the contribution we have come here to make. Gratitude helps to shift us from unnecessary drama to living our dreams. Gratitude moves us from making all sorts of excuses about what we can't do to empowering us to do everything we can do. There is such power in gratitude. So I invite you now to bring to mind any challenge you may be experiencing and observe it, witness it from the perspective of gratitude. Is there anything in this situation for which I can be grateful? Anything, no matter how small. The universe responds to every ounce of gratitude that we can muster. Gratitude for the many gifts we've been given tells the divine we are ready for more. We don't do this in any kind of denial or pretending that the challenge isn't there, but from a deep practice of finding the good in anything. And if you are already in a place of gratitude or a place of joy, share it with us. Bring it on. Spread those happy molecules through this room and beyond these walls. As we affirm once again that when we share our challenges, they are divided. But when we share our joy, it is multiplied. Therein lies the power of community, of practicing these incredible spiritual principles together. And so it is. Namaste.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. You are beautiful. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are whole. We started on this journey, our convictions all in place. But one by one they tumbled, each one a gift from grace. We can change our point of view. the beauty that is me, that is you. We see what we want to see and what we wish to be. It's just the way we dream it, the key to what we would believe is just to know that everything's a miracle when seen through the eyes of love. Now when we seem divided, stand here feeling very small, that's when we find the courage to knock a hole out of this wall. We take time to find what's true, and now no other looks upon my soul the way you do. We see what we want to see and what we wish to be. It's just the way we dream it, the key to what we would believe is just to know that everything's a miracle when seen through the eyes of love. A simple man becomes a king, a child flies on a silver wing, a woman now becomes a queen, and none of us are what we seem. We see what we want to see and what we wish to be. It's just the way we dream it, the key to what we would believe is just to know that everything's a miracle when seen. Oh, everything's a miracle when seen through the eyes of love. Through the eyes of love, everything's a miracle. Through the eyes of love, everything's a miracle. Through the eyes of love, everything, everything.
That was beautiful. Oh, that was gorgeous. So, given that it's New Member Sunday, and given the commitment that the new members have shown and the dedication toward fulfilling all of their requirements, I thought it would be interesting to explore the power of dedication. And it was interesting because when I Googled, the definition of dedication, or the power of dedication, a whole bunch of dedications to like our kids or dedications to something, but it wasn't the definition of dedication, right? So I finally just Googled definition of dedication, and this is what I came up with. This is from the Advanced Oxford Dictionary, and there's actually several definitions, and we're going to play with each of them. So the first one was complete and wholehearted fidelity. Complete and wholehearted fidelity. So that led me to look up the definition of fidelity. Anybody else? Right, yeah, okay, good. So fidelity, I could see you kind of going. Fidelity is a faithful devotion to duty or to one's obligations or vows loyalty, and faithfulness. So it's a complete and wholehearted devotion to duty or to one's obligations or vows, loyalty, and faithfulness. So you could say it's complete and wholehearted faithfulness, right? And then that leads us to the ever-present question around faith. What do we have faith in? We've explored that many, many times. So complete and wholehearted faithfulness, we get to ask ourselves, as we're looking at dedication, what do we have complete and wholehearted faith in? Second one, a ceremony in which something such as a building is dedicated to some goal or some purpose. So this definition brings out the idea that ceremony goes with dedication. If something is important enough for us to be dedicated to, then we need to have a ritual around it or a ceremony around it. Like when we do baby christenings, right? In part of that service, we're dedicating our commitment, we're dedicating our support to this child. And a ceremony is called for. A ceremony is called for to dedicate something that precious and that important. Of course, you know, when I think of dedicating something, I think of that scene from the Star Trek movie where they're smashing the champagne bottle against the newest version of Enterprise, but that's just me, where my mind goes. It's also a message that makes a pledge. So when I read this one, I thought, I dedicate this message to, right? So that message is in and of itself a commitment. Another one is a short message, as in a book or a musical work or a photograph, dedicating it to someone or something. So like when we write a book and we dedicate it to someone, we're saying that, and this is where dedication and commitment kind of work together, that our dedication to whoever we were writing that book for or from is what helped us to keep our commitment. That's how dedication and commitment work together, but it's also an example of how they're not the same thing. Like, I can make a commitment to do my part of the household chores, right? I'm not really dedicated to that, just to be clear, right? But what I am dedicated to is being a supportive partner, and I am dedicated to having a beautiful home. That's very, very important to me. So you see how dedication and commitment work together, but they're not exactly the same thing. And then this last one was interesting. The act of binding yourself intellectually or emotionally, I think it could have been and or, emotionally, to a cause or an action. So to dedicate ourselves to a cause, right? Whether it be a spiritual cause, a vocational cause, a political cause, you're dedicating yourself. You're saying, so in essence, when we are dedicating ourselves to something, we are saying this is important. This is important on more than a, yeah, I'll wash the dishes commitment, right? This is important. We are dedicating ourselves to this. So all of these definitions bring up the question, as a community, what or who are we dedicated to? You guys say, that's a really good question, Steph. Right? So as a mission-centric community, the what is much more important than the who. Right? What are we dedicated to? Anybody have any ideas? Living our spiritual principles. Did you look at my notes? Because that was the very first one. Okay. Thank you. Living our spiritual principles. Now, we have so many spiritual principles that we study and we practice in unity. So when I say, just to keep it simple, when I say living our spiritual principles, let's just stick to the 5 foundational spiritual principles, right? Acknowledging that there's only one power and one presence in the universe, and we believe that power is ever present, ever good, ever loving, right? That's what we believe. The second principle is, as demonstrations of that power, we are also loving and good. That's our true nature, is an expression of the divine. We also believe that thoughts and feelings held in mind produce after their kind, right? We talk about that one a lot because that's my favorite. Maybe some other minister would talk about another one a lot, but I love that one, right? Because it puts the responsibility and the privilege on us of deciding what we want to experience in the world. So do we want to look at the world, but use your words, Stephanie. Do we want to look at the world through the eyes of what's wrong, or do we want to look at the world through the eyes of what's right? And what's interesting about that is, when I focus on what I have to be grateful for, it actually gives me more energy to right the wrongs. But when I'm just focused on what's wrong, it's just it's an energy suck, man. Right? It's like I just want to pull the covers up over my head. But when I can focus on what is good and true and working in the world, it gives me the energy and the motivation and the dedication to right what's wrong. Thoughts and feelings held in mind create the experience of our lives. The fourth one is that we don't need intermediaries to access our divinity. We do that through prayer, through meditation, through contemplation, through whatever, bless you, through whatever mode you use to connect with spirit, with the divine, with that awesome power in the universe. We don't need an intermediary, right? That makes us unpopular with folks who think we should have one. But again, back to the responsibility and the privilege. That does put that responsibility on us to access that power. And then, of course, the fifth principle is it doesn't matter what we believe if we don't act on it. Action, action. Put feet to your prayers. Get up off your meditation pillow and do something with what you believe. So, if we are dedicated to that, how do we live that? How do you live that in your lives? How do you live that everyone is an expression of the divine? If we are dedicated to that, how do we live it? How does it cause us to show up in the world? How about our vision, mission, and values? Do we walk around centered in love, embracing a positive path? We try. We try, right? But think about that. If we are dedicated to this, remember, it is the act of binding yourself intellectually or emotionally to a cause or an action. It's complete and wholehearted fidelity. It doesn't mean that we just do this when it's convenient or with people we like, right? What does it mean to be centered in love? So let's say that something comes up at a meeting here or a class or a workshop. And as you're going to explore in the workshop that Jeff and Sherry are going to be leading next month, and the conversation becomes a little challenging. What do? If we're dedicated to this, and if we're dedicated to being a welcoming community that practices these universal spiritual practices and teachings, and if we're dedicated to our values of being accepting, compassionate, open-minded, positive, and transformative, can you all rattle those off? You get extra cake if you can rattle those off. Right? That's what it means to be dedicated to something. To know our vision, mission, values, and 5 principles by heart. And to be dedicated to living them. The other thing we practice here are the teachings of Jesus. Now notice that that's a what. It's not a who. We practice the teachings, and we could even say the example of Jesus. That's a what? The Buddhists have a neat, it's not really a philosophy, but a neat idea or belief, where they say that the great teachers, the great masters, are the finger pointing to the moon. Right? So they're the finger pointing to the moon. The moon is the teaching. The moon is the power. The moon is the truth of who we are. And yet as human beings, we worship the finger. And we miss the moon. We turn these incredibly powerful spiritual teachers into monuments and exceptions. And therefore it lets us off the hook of ever trying to truly emulate them. But if we are dedicated to the teachings of Jesus, then that means we are dedicated to living lives of love and truth and compassion and generosity and courage and forgiveness. We're dedicated to that. So I shared a meme on my page, and I love this. It was from St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Fargo, North Dakota. And this is what it said. Jesus wasn't nice. Yes, he was loving and inclusive, but in the way that gets you rejected by the religious. Yes, he was generous and truthful, but in the way that gets you persecuted by the powerful. Niceness was not his mission. Destroying oppressive systems was. Now it's our turn. St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, Fargo, North Dakota. How cool is that? So, what are we dedicated to? What do we have faith in? So I do want to hear from you. How do you live our vision? Somebody tell me how you live our vision. Elaine's already earned her cake. You're welcome. You may even get 2 pieces. Helen. Perform acts of kindness. Excellent. By the way, that's going to be the topic of our service on November 13th. It turns out it's World Kindness Day. So we're going to celebrate kindness on that. So yes, we perform acts of kindness. Who else? Yes, country. Give without expectation of return. Excellent. Who else? How do you center in love? What does that mean? In touch with your spirit? Mm-hmm. You come from a place of love? Yep. How do you get there? Gratitude? Well, that is a huge thing. My friend Cindy Wigglesworth has a great practice, and this actually helps me to get there, where she asks herself constantly, in this situation, what would love do? Right? So we're not just centered in love, we're acting out of love. Right? What would love do? Notice it's not what would love think or what would love feel. What would love do in this situation? It's the conscious choice to come from that space. It's not always easy. No, it's not. That's why we call it a practice, right? You know, it's funny, years ago, gosh, this must have been 10 years ago, someone said to me at a previous church, you know, well, I just don't think you need to teach the 5 principles anymore because they're just so basic. And I said, really? I said, so have you gone a day where you have fully demonstrated every one of the 5 principles completely, wholly, and faithfully? Yeah, that would have been a no, right? Our principles are not easy. They are simple on the surface, but they are not easy. Because we don't have anybody to blame. Don't you miss the devil sometimes? Seriously, right? Sorry, if I do something that's out of integrity, it's on me. I got no one to blame. It's me falling off my standards of integrity card. It's me not being dedicated to the principles and the values that I espouse. Right? So how do you practice our values? Accepting, compassionate, open-minded, positive, and transformative. I warned you about that one, remember? The transformative one. How do you practice accepting? How do you dedicate yourself to being accepting? Yes. I listen. Excellent. I listen. And implied in that, because we're listening as a way of demonstrating accepting, is that we're listening to understand, we're not listening to reply. Right? You know the difference there, right? Yeah. It's a huge energetic difference between listening to understand and listening to reply. If we're truly accepting, we are listening to understand. How about compassionate? How do you show compassion in your everyday life? Let people know that you're there for them? Yeah, how do we do that? The listen part, yeah? Yeah? Yes, Owen. You could comfort somebody when they're down and tell them that you'll always be there for them. Excellent, Owen. That's exactly how we show compassion, right? And we need to not be afraid to be compassionate. You know, we're living in an increasingly cynical society, and really for good reason. I'm not judging it seriously. So I think right now, being accepting and compassionate and open-minded and positive is an act of courage, right? So, you know, it's okay to say to a complete stranger, do you need a hug? It's okay to comfort a mother whose child is having a total meltdown in the grocery store and say, oh, honey, I've been there. What can I do? It's okay to be loving, accepting, compassionate, open-minded, and positive in the world. Who cares what people think? Seriously, what would love do in those situations? So how do we practice being open-minded? I'm just going to make a guess here that we would all think that we're really open-minded, right? Don't we even kind of pride ourselves on being really open-minded? And where are you not? Because that's where the practice is, right? Where have we characterized a person or a group of people or, oh, I don't know, maybe a political party? I'm just saying, right? How do we practice? Now, I'm not saying that we need to be so open-minded that our brains fall out. We need to be discerning, we need to show wisdom, but where can we be open-minded where we might not really have been demonstrating being open-minded? Yes? Yes. If you do something wrong and your grandma points it out to you, you're open-minded. I hope my granddaughters are listening to this morning. And you accept it so that you cannot do something wrong in the future, right? Excellent. I want everyone to notice that this young man is coming up with really excellent responses to this. Yes. And positive. Yes, country. Yes. Yes. I saw this, again, a really good memes this week. I don't know what was going on. But it was about a woman was posting that her husband was mentoring this young boy because he had stolen candy. He had stolen $200 worth of candy. And when he was working with him, what he realized was, even though his mother was, working, that they couldn't afford to pay the rent. So he stole the candy so he could sell it after school to help his mom pay the rent. So, we see child steals candy, and what did we initially go to? Judgment, right? But when you know the story, you shift to empathy, right? That's a powerful way of practicing accepting, compassionate, open-minded, right? All of the above. When you know the story behind it. Be curious, listen, right? And positive. I know it annoys some of you when I say this, but I really do believe in finding the pony in everything, okay? That's just my little thing. We have a choice, right? Actually, thinking positively and looking for the good is better for you physically. If you're struggling with a physical challenge, I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I love my doctor. But also look at what might you not be willing to see positively, right? What little maybe energy pickup you could get for shifting into gratitude about something, right? Yes. Absolutely. That's a powerful gratitude practice. Every morning, either think of 3 positive things from the day before or 3 positive things that are going to happen, right? Because a lot of things are going to happen, we might as well focus on the good stuff. Focusing on the good stuff, by the way, also helps us deal more effectively with the bad stuff when it comes up, because we're already in a better mindset. We're already clear about what we're dedicated to. See how this keeps coming back to the power of being dedicated. If we are really dedicated to all of this, then we're going to live it. And if we're not, then it's just going to be nice words, right? We're talking about dedication. So to that end, Miss Linda, would you like to come forward? We are going to accept our new members. And we're going to call you up one at a time. And then Miss Linda is going to hand you your certificate. And your gift is actually tucked inside your certificate, so don't dump it out when she hands it to you. Larry.
Welcome, Larry. Thank you very much.
Noel. Oh, Larry, you have to stay up here. You don't get to sit down again. I apologize for not being clear about that.
Thank you, Linda.
Just come on up and spread out. There you go. Holly. And Stephanie Dinan. We have to use last names with the Stephanies because there are too many, and there are too many Stephanie D's. So, Sarah.
Welcome, Sarah. Thank you.
Elaine. Keep scooching. There you go. Good job. Yep, you have to come up.
No.
Good. And Rick.
Welcome, Rick.
So these beloved have fulfilled all of the requirements for joining us here at Unity of Palmyra. Some of them completed the requirements here, and some of them had met them at previous Unity or New Thought communities. So we are absolutely delighted to welcome them to our family here at Unity of Palmyra. Now, part of what they have agreed to in becoming voting members of Unity of Palmyra is the membership covenant. And each of you have been handed one of these as you walked into the room. If you are a voting member, I invite you to please stand and read along with them. And if you just want to support our new members and maybe think about your dedication to Unity of Palmyra, you are also invited to stand and read with us the membership covenant. Together. Having completed the requirements for membership as established by the Co-Creation Council of Unity of Palmyra, I will do my part to support Unity of Palmyra's vision. Centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. I understand that Unity of Palmyra is a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. I will make my spiritual unfoldment and relationship with God a priority in my life and will include Unity of Palmyra in my daily prayer life. I understand and am aligned with the basic teachings of unity. I will join my fellow members and congregants in demonstrating our values of accepting, compassionate, open-minded, positive, and transformative. I will extend myself with loving warmth to newcomers to my church home and to those people attending whom I do not know. I will include the church in my financial planning, giving regularly, joyfully, and lovingly. I will serve Unity of Palmyra with my time and talent, volunteering in areas that bring me joy and contribute to my community in a meaningful way. I will speak with purpose and enthusiasm about the church and my fellow congregants. If I experience personal upset with this community or a congregant, I will seek guidance from Spirit, then speak with and resolve any upset with the persons involved, following the steps outlined in agreeing and disagreeing in love. Through membership in Unity of Palmyra, I honor the Spirit within me and expressing as me, and the Spirit at work through this spiritual community and its members. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your dedication in everything that you had to do to be standing up here today. We are so very grateful for you. How about if we honor them with our unity blessing? Together, we love you. We bless you.
We appreciate you.
And we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. Yes, we do. And I'm so happy you guys are all members now. Yay! Yay! There you go. Now you get to vote for really exciting things like budgets and bylaws changes, and you are also eligible in a year, if you so choose, to run for the council and to take the training to become a prayer chaplain. So if any of you are interested in that, this buys you that. All right? Thank you so much. We love you. And just 1 second. You can clap again in just a minute. I know we love to clap. And we do see each and every one of you as absolutely a blessing in the world. Amen. All right. Now you can clap again further. All right. And now you may have a seat. Thank you. So let's take that joy and that blessing into our meditation.
Heart. You are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and all you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hand, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world.
And so we breathe into the beauty of those words, into the power of those words. Into the dedication behind those words. For if we are truly dedicated to living our principles, to living our values, to being love and gratitude and compassion in the world, how can we help but be a blessing? So we ask this morning, to what are you dedicated? To what are you completely faithful to? What is important enough for you to commit your time, talent, and treasure? what gifts that you demonstrate create that blessing that you are. Take a moment in the silence and ask yourself, how will I bless the world today?
We are the heart, we are the hand, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world.
Oh, so this is the time of our service where we again express gratitude for all of your gifts, your tithe, your love offerings, your financial support of this community. Without that support, we couldn't do this together, and we couldn't make the contribution that we make in the world. I hope you all saw the little piece that we dropped into the weekly email this week about the great work that the World Cafe Kitchen is doing, not just in Ukraine, but now in Kentucky, and we gave to them for a couple of months for our global tithe, just to get folks fed. And our tithe for August will be going to an organization that is on the ground in Kentucky, helping people that have lost everything to the floods. So your gifts don't just help us come together, they go out into the world and provide a powerful blessing. So thank you.
I know what brought us here, it's becoming so clear. There's a reason why we're all in this space together, and the magic that we share moves all around us. There's a purpose, there's a meaning, there's a common thread that weaves us together. The tie that binds us together comes from above. The light that shines all around us is crafted out of love. And to share this love is what we're here for. To give back the joy that comes to us is what we have to do. It's true, 'cause love surrounds us. Life astounds us. Joy just fills our souls. Let the music lift us. The peace stays with us as we walk down separate roads, our separate roads, our separate roads. 'Cause who knows where or when we'll meet again, and who knows just how. All I know is that this may not last forever, so just hold on tight and cherish now. I know what brought us here, it's becoming so clear. There's a reason why we're all in this space together, and the magic that we share moves all around us. There's a purpose, there's a meaning, there's a common thread that weaves us together. Love astounds us, and life surrounds us, and the joy just fills our souls, just fills our souls. Let the music lift us, the peace stays with us as we walk down our separate roads, our separate roads, our separate roads.
You have to sing that at the music conference next month. I want to show you off. Okay. Let's stand and share in our unity blessing. And you know what? You all know this. Look around the room. Bless each other. All right? Together. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. Yes, we do. Let's sing the peace song with intention.
Peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well. So staying with our gratitude theme this morning, 2 gratitudes. Vicki, thank you for cleaning and organizing the kitchen this week. You're amazing. And I just want to acknowledge how beautiful the slides are and thank Jackie for putting so much time into making them beautiful for us. See how much fun it is to be grateful? Have a wonderful week. Go out and be the incredible blessings that you are. And please join us downstairs for cake and coffee and to greet and welcome our newest voting members. Bye-bye. We love you, our Facebook and YouTube friends. Have a wonderful week.